I don't need the church to tell me about the faith. I have the Bible and the Holy Spirit. We've all heard this countless times from people who do not accept the authority of the Catholic Church. It's a popular notion to believe that if you have the Bible and the Holy Spirit, then what else is needed? But in today's gospel, we read this from John 16, beginning in verse 12. Jesus said to his disciples, "I have much more to tell you, but you cannot bear it now. But when he comes, the Spirit of truth, he will guide you into all truth." Boom, there it is, right? Except for one issue. Well, maybe two. First of all, Jesus says nothing about the Bible here. Now, I'm not saying we don't need the Bible. I'm just saying that this would have been an excellent time for Jesus to introduce the idea of sola scriptura, but instead, he tells his disciples that they will be guided into all truth by the Holy Spirit. Now, it's true that the Holy Spirit speaks through the scriptures, but that's something that comes later, at least when it comes to the New Testament anyway. The second thing is to ask, who is Jesus even talking to here? Is he saying to every individual believer in all times and places that they will individually be guided into all truth by the Holy Spirit? Many people make this claim, but the problem comes when different people with the same Bible and the same Holy Spirit supposedly are led to different and often contradictory conclusions. Does the Spirit of truth change his mind, or does he lie? Of course not. This promise was not given to individuals outside of the context of the church. Jesus is promising the Spirit of truth will guide his church into all truth. If you look at how this was practiced, for example, in the book of Acts, chapter 15, when they were getting together to decide what to do with Gentile converts to the faith, what's interesting is they say after prayer and discussion amongst the leaders of the church, they say, "It seemed good to us and to the Holy Spirit." Then that decision was carried out to the Christians spread throughout the region. Their decision was not something confined to their context or local assembly. They didn't say, well, this is our interpretation, but you guys do what seems best to you and the Holy Spirit. Just interpret it for yourselves. They understood that the Holy Spirit was given to the apostles in order that they and their successors could accurately discern and preach the will of God to the church. That's how Jesus set it up when he gave them his authority to lead and guide the church. Now, this didn't mean that these guys could do it on their own. And that's why the Holy Spirit is given to the church, to lead her into all truth. And this is why it is dangerous when people depart from the church in favor of their own opinions. The Holy Spirit will never contradict himself because truth doesn't contradict itself. So you can go out on your own with the Bible and your own personal opinions, but understand that you personally do not carry the promise with you that Jesus gave to those in charge of his church. Or you can stay with the apostles and their successors in the church founded by Jesus and sustained by his promise that despite human frailties, sinfulness, and weakness, the Holy Spirit will guide her into all truth.